A year ago, I became a homeowner, and it was single-handedly the biggest life mistake I have ever made. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Nike, and I teach about financial literacy and how to be smart with your money. And your girl was dumb with your money, and because I'm always transparent with you guys, I figured I would share all the mistakes I made when it comes to homeownership so you don't do it. Let's talk about it. It's gonna be a 10 minutes video. You can hit the playback speed, you know, if you want me to talk a little faster, but let's rewind to 2020. That was a very financially fruitful year for me and my team. We had a blast, and I'm very grateful for the platform TikTok. And so I had a good amount of change, and I hired a financial advisor. So after investing in the stock market, investing in other things, I was advised in 2023 to purchase a home, you know, because there was nothing left to do with the rest that I had, and I wasn't making the kind of money I was making in 2020. So my financial advisor was like, okay, well, I want to put it into something, and you know, in about 2 years you can remove it and you will have more. So I took his advice. Big mistake, huge mistake. Let me calm down. Whilst looking for my place, I did 99% of all the legwork myself. I went to perhaps 5 or 6 open homes a day, okay? I had a realtor, but I remember seeing this TikTok recently that I had a good chuckle. Actually, one of my girlfriends sent it to me, and it says, if you get to heaven and you see a realtor there, you're in hell. Now, I'm not saying they're all bad. They're not all bad, but for the most part, they're just there to turn the key and collect their commission, okay? So I did all the work for myself, literally 99% of my work. And I finally bought this place. It was the happiest day of my life. You know, I'm very grateful that I was able to achieve an American dream, a young girl from Africa, from Nigeria, and was able to do something like that. Very grateful. However, from the moment that I walked in, I knew I had made a big mistake. I knew the day that I opened the door, I said, child, wait. Unless you buy a brand new home, a newly built home, which is impossible to find in the city of Los Angeles, and I wanted to stay inside the city, you are buying a liability, you're not buying an investment, okay? You're going to fix so much. So the moment that I walked in, you guys remember my dear friend, who's my contractor. We started out together when I was homeless. He used to help me carry home my luggages together. The sweetest man. He did a lot of work in here for me immediately. Like, I had to fix the AC, I had to fix the plumbing, I had to fix the electricity. I mean, it was like, I was bleeding myself literally dry because I was house poor. You know, I had money in stocks, the money that I had left over in this place, and the rest was just something to fix this place. I could not sleep. I will literally go to sleep, like, something's wrong. I could not sleep, and I got sick. Now, of course, correlation is not causation. We all know this. However, getting sick the way I got sick, I was like, this is being caused by something in this place. There's something wrong with me. And so when I got sick, I knew that it was a blessing. I'm still in here. Technically not. I haven't been here like 2 months. But I knew that this is a chance for me to get out as fast as I can. Now, they call it home ownership. But unless you pay for the house completely cash, it's not home ownership. Even when you do that, you still pay property tax. It's home borrowership. Someone else owns the house. It's called a bank. Okay? There's no such thing as home ownership. And for me, I chose to purchase a home. Okay, let's just paint this picture real quick. Because I wanted to invest in a home, I went from living in a penthouse to living in a mid-rise to eventually purchasing this place. Now, I purchased a home in the highest MS-13 gang-infested neighborhood outside of El Salvador. That's why I purchased the place. Because me, I don't have fear. I cannot process fear. So I said, oh, a little MS-13. What can you know, I can definitely handle them. They have meetings outside my window every single day, okay? They're creep walking right now as we speak, okay? Yeah, you might not be scared of gang members because you think you're tough and you're a big girl. But you will get scared no matter how strong you are. Eventually, you walk past them long enough. And they're satanicals. They worship Satan. So people are worshiping Satan right outside my door. Now, they lie to you and tell you that you can rent your place out and you will make passive income. That's also not true because I'm paying $5,500 in mortgage to rent this place out because it's in the ghetto. The most anyone will pay for it is $2,200. So I'll be paying someone technically to live in here. So I made a decision to just take my loss because, you know, I invested so much immediately when I moved in, but I can't get equity out of it because I've only been here a year. But I physically cannot be here any longer. I can't even do, I've been gone because I couldn't do it. And I've had the privilege of living in someone else's penthouse who lives in a hotel, and I've been enjoying that so much. And I'm like, this is the life I deserve. You cannot tell me that because you want to be a homeowner so bad, it's the American dream. The boomers lied to us and said it's the American, that you purposefully take yourself from here in life, like you're all the way here in life, okay? You're paying probably less than your mortgage in life, living in a penthouse or in a high rise, to go live in the ghetto, because if you are in the main city, that's the only place you can afford a house, okay? And you're living in a ghetto. And what happens for me, my environment is I need to be in an environment where I feel ambitious. The reason why I couldn't work, and I haven't been able to work, one, yeah, I'm in my lover girl era, my sub girl era. However, I just have no ambition, because when you're the richest person in the neighborhood, why would you work? You can't, okay? You have the nicest car, you have the nicest everything. Every neighbor, every day, there's one knocking on the door, like giving me their child. They will literally hand their child, like, could you have my child and just give her $10 a day to help you around the house? Or an old woman will come and say, could you help me? Every day. So of course, in your mind, you're like, I've made it, like, why do I need to work? Look at all those people, And I realized, and I said this before, it sounds terrible. I just cannot be around poverty. I can't do it. And I can say that because I have experienced the most extreme version of poverty a human being can experience. When I first moved to LA, I lived in a homeless shelter. So it doesn't get any worse than that. So I can say that. I can literally say I can't be around poverty. I remember dating this guy a year ago, and he was so dirty, and he was just so dirty, like had horrible personal hygiene, and it triggered me so bad. And I could not understand why I would go to his house and I would immediately go take a bath. It's because I was always thinking I was in a homeless shelter. And this place, this neighborhood, this environment makes me feel like I'm in a homeless shelter every day. And for someone who was actually there, it triggers me so bad. I will have hives. I have done everything in my power to no longer be poor, just to put myself back into poverty, because I wanted to be a homeowner terribly. So I say all that to say, if you want to be a homeowner, do your research. Most likely, unless you're like filthy rich, you probably can't buy a house inside of LA and buy an investment. You'll be buying a liability. And they also tell you, you can just sell it. You're not selling candy. You're selling a house. It's not gonna sell overnight. You know what I mean? It might be on the market. The gentleman that I know, he's had his house on the market for 8 years to sell, and it hasn't sold. It might be on the market for 3 months. It might be on the market for a decade. Or you might cut your losses, which is what I'm doing, and just cut the price in half and move on with your life, and take a huge loss and cry for days and move on with your life. But homeownership is not something that everyone should aspire for. I truly believe that, thank God I was able to move quickly and say, let me just cut my losses and move on. But homeownership literally ruined my mental health. It ruined my life, honestly. I'm the kind of person, I'm a competitive person. And so I'm a very ambitious person. And living in a high rise, living amongst people who are also successful, and you see a Bentley right there, you see a Maybach right there, you see a G-Wagon across, you want to work harder. But I couldn't park a G-Wagon outside here. I would be robbed at gunpoint the same day. So, just make sure that you weigh your pros and cons, especially right now with the interest rate being at 9%. I purchased this place at 9%. And understand that realtors are kind, some people, but like for the most part, they don't have your best interest at heart, And so really weigh your pros and cons and decide. I read that Forbes article that said that women are now number one homeowners in America. I think it's 70%, which by all accounts, that sounds lovely. We want women to move ahead in life. But I wonder if that statistics is true, because men have owned homes for so long, and it is not an investment. Okay? I think that's what's happening there. I think women are so happy to purchase a home because we're finally being allowed to, and we're quickly realizing that it's not what it cracks up to be. You do have to be in your masculine era to be a homeowner as a woman by yourself. You have to fix things. Even if you don't fix it physically, you have to call and say, hey, the plumbing is off. Everything that breaks is on you. Your rent is the most you will ever pay. Your mortgage is the lowest you will ever pay. You always pay more. And last thing I'm going to say, I knew something was off because when I was purchasing this place, everyone around me that was helping me purchase the place didn't have a house. Okay, not the realtors, not the mortgage brokers, not the people that did the underwriting, not the escrow people, not a single person was a homeowner. Not one. So I remember just saying to people, am I playing the wrong game? Am I being tricked into the wrong game? Yes, I was being tricked into the wrong game. Okay, you want to put your mortgage. That's the least you will pay. You have property taxes, you have HOA, you have things that break in the house every single day. It is not an investment. Homeownership is not an investment. And with that said, I, for one, for the rest of my life, I mean, you know, I'm very lucky to know someone in my life right now who's also like does not believe in homeownership. I will rent for the rest of my life because honey, shit is too pretty to be stressed. Bye.